Honourable Member of Parliament for Gomoa Central, in case rooted in his seat, because as a Gomoa man, he says he's excited and is supercharged today. Honourable, thank you very much for joining us in the studio this morning.
You're welcome.
How are you today?
Very well. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are the people of Gomoa Central as well, your constituents?
Yeah, fabulous.
How many, it's been what, more than 18 months since you became Member of Parliament? How has it been like, reveling in the position or something you worked towards, you won? 18 months in, what would you say is the biggest of highlights for you since you became Member of Parliament?
I think the biggest is the rehabilitation of the University Road. The last time that it was worked on was about 28 years ago. And I remember very well. I was young then when Arab contractors were building the road, and we used to come to the roadside to watch the equipment and the people working. And then 28 years on, I have to be the one to push for it to be rehabilitated and made better. It excites me a lot.
You've said your focus is on industrialization.
Yeah.
Rather than anything parliamentary.
Yes.
Why is that? Because, I mean, that almost contradicts what a Member of Parliament is supposed to be doing.
Yes.
Why that position for you?
Desperate times call for desperate measures.
Yeah. You see, there is one thing that most MPs don't realize early. And so by the time they realize it, they have already lost their seats. The law mandates you to do one thing, and the people who put you there also expect another thing from you. So it is yours to decide whether to do only what the law mandates you to, or to prioritize that, or to prioritize the needs of the people. And I think that there are 275 of us.
76. 76.
Yes.
It's 276.
Yeah, and all there are many of us who have been in there for a very long time. We are executing our mandate. However, I think that I must go the extra mile to bring a lot to the people. I want the people to feel the change in their lives, in their pockets, and so I'm going to prioritize that.
And that is your priority. How has that been, prioritizing the welfare of your constituents over the last 18 months?
Yeah. I think the majority of the people are excited about what has transpired so far. Majority of the people are excited that they voted for me. They have not regretted voting for me because we are not doing the ordinary. I don't want to be normal. I don't want to be ordinary. I want to do what people think is impossible, and so the people are seeing a change. They have seen something new. They have seen something that they didn't expect. They think that I have exceeded their expectation, and they see more coming. So we are not only talking about big promises, but they can see things happening on the ground. This year alone, in the last 18 months, we have commissioned 2 clinics and 5 new schools in Gomoa.
Five new schools.
Yes.
Is it basic schools?
Basic schools, yes, basic schools, which is unprecedented. In fact, we are building one school in Aboso. We are building one school in Obuase. We are building one school in Afranse. So in all, by the end of this year, we would have built 6 new schools in the constituency. We have built chip compounds. We are bringing a lot to the constituency. And then we are expanding access to free internet. I believe that internet must be considered a human right. Every human being must have access to free internet, and that is why we continue to expand in the constituency.
There's a talk of an industrial park as well, which you've proposed for your constituent. Where are you on that?
When you say propose, it looks like we have an intention to build an industrial park. In fact, we are actually building the industrial park. When you come to the site,
you started building an industrial park.
We are far gone, and when you come to the site now, you see that factories have started springing up. We have a lot of factories that are coming up now. I have traveled the world to engage potential investors in investor promotions in Germany, in Switzerland, in China, in India, and all of these people from all of these countries are happy to come. We are now going to start actually building the roads by the end of this year.
And the companies are going to take charge of building the roads by themselves.
We, the management of the Gomoa Special Economic Zone. It used to be the Gomoa Gomoa Central Special Economic Zone, but we removed the Central because we believe that whether it is Gomoa East, Gomoa West, or Gomoa Central, is one Gomoa, and we want every Gomoa to benefit from this Special Economic Zone. And so we are working. We, as the management team, are building the roads. We are not working alone. We are working with the Africa Continental Free Trade Area. We are working with the Ghana Free Zones Authority. We are working with the Ghana Investment Promotion Authority. So what we have seen is that, or what we have realized is that the Ghana Free Zones Authority gives you access to bring your raw material into Ghana to produce your finished products and then export. Because of the size of the market, Ghana has about 33 million people. It makes it difficult for big industries to establish in Ghana if their concentration is on just the Ghanaian market. And that is why we have a draft MOU from the African Union via the Africa Continental Free Trade Area to allow us to leverage on AFTA to reach the 1.58 billion people on the entire African continent. So if you're producing in Gomoa, you are bringing your raw material in duty-free, and then your finished goods are going to the 54 countries that have ratified the AFTA agreement tariff-free. This is the market that we are opening to everybody who wants to operate in Gomoa, because you see, the population of Africa now stands at about 1.58 billion. Mm-hmm. The population of China is about 1.4 billion. However, the GDP of China is about 17 trillion. The GDP of Africa is about 3.4 trillion. The reason is that our markets there are too many trade barriers in Africa. Between Lagos and Abidjan, you encounter about 70 trade barriers just between Lagos and Abidjan. But between Shanghai and Guangzhou, or Tianjin and Beijing, there are no trade barriers. And so when you produce in Shanghai, you can travel all the way, your goods can travel all the way without any tariffs. This is what we hope to establish in Gomoa, so that when you are coming to produce in Gomoa, you're manufacturing in Gomoa, your market is not just the Ghanaian market, the 34 million or the 400 million on the West African in the West African sub-region, but you are getting access to the entire 1.58 billion. So our zone is after Gomoa Special Economic Zone.
Do you have the buy-in of your colleagues from the other constituencies around the Gomoa area? Because you took out the central and it's now Gomoa Special Industrial Zone. So is this suggestive of the fact that all of the MPs, they have bought into the idea because it's for the people of Gomoa?
Yeah, of course. The question sounds like you go to a church and ask if everybody believes in Jesus. Of course, once you're a Christian, you are there because of Christ. And this is a huge thing. My colleague on the West I've been in various conversations with my colleague on the West. Yes, who has shown.
That's a Deputy Energy Minister.
Yes, of course, who is very much supportive of this initiative. In fact, we have a plan to build a port in Gomoa in the next 3 years, so that you don't have to travel all the way to Tema or to Takrady to export or your goods or import your raw material.
And this will be private sector led?
Of course, yes. And we have had conversations with the director of Tema Port and some of the senior people of Ghana Ports and
Harbours Authority,
to assist us to be able to do this. We are currently running a feasibility studies, and we are hoping to be done by next year, present it to the government. We want to build something big in Gomoa.
Listening to you, you sound like the MC that the constitutional review process expects citizens to vote for kick in. How do you marry the fact that as a member of parliament, you're development focused as against what is the primary and core function of legislative duties? How do you marry that with the expectation on metropolitan municipal district chief, because they are supposed to be leading the charge like you're doing as a member of parliament?
I believe that we have a huge problem as a country. We just, if you like, we just, I don't want the bloggers to misconstrue what.
Feel free, because you are known to speak your mind and speak it very freely.
No, sometimes I want to be a good guy. I think that we just bought into this whole democracy thing. We picked a book and we decided to live by it. I don't believe that we are there. You see, this whole thing, and I disagree with the Constitution Review Commission in some. I think they did a fantastic job, but there are some areas that I disagree with them, like extending the term to 5 years and presidential and parliamentary terms to 5 years. I wish they could reduce it to about 3 years, and then remove term limits. So. You can contest as many times as you want
for president,
and as long as you are doing the right thing, and the incentive to perform is the next election, because you know that when you have just 2 terms, you come and you spend the first 2 years satisfying those who brought you there and thanking everybody. The next 1 year to think about development, and the next year to go for the next election. And then once you get it, you are going into your final term, and most of them don't care because there is no incentive to perform. If you are not a John Mahama who has 1 term but wants to build everything, including an expressway, including if you don't have that mindset, so it becomes difficult. And if John Mahama had another term, I think that he would have done more. So in my personal opinion, I think that the term limits has to be removed from our constitution. If you look at the MC and DCA, I don't think that we have to look at it again. Having an MC who is there to develop the municipality or the district assembly, whose core mandate is to develop the district. I think that, and they have the money. Yeah. They have been given money for the development of the district and the municipal assemblies. However, some of them don't perform. If you look at my DC, for instance, he's a great guy. I've never seen government projects run this fast. And I also think that it is because the president ensured that 80% of District Assembly Common Fund is going directly to the district. When people say, what has John Mahama achieved in almost 2 years? I tell them that just ensuring that 80% of the District Assembly Common Fund goes to the Assembly itself is an achievement, because you cannot have what we are doing is decentralization, local governance. How can you have a government that does not have money? So most of these guys were not performing. It's not about the MC or the DCA also performing, having money, but it's about the vision. We can build anything out of nothing. 3FM. So you can have an MC and say, oh, they are supposed to develop the district. But I think that the MP must be part of the development of the district. You have 2 people. One may be proactive, one may not be. So I don't think that it is right to limit the MPs. The MPs must also. You think the work done by the Constitutional Review Committee, because the argument is that let us vote for MCs
so that they will come and then they'll be promising the things that you're doing in Gomoa right now. They will come with visions now, because now we are just appointing them, so that we'll leave MPs to focus on solely protecting the public purse, legislation, and other things.
You see, my brother, all these things that we are talking about are things that we decided to do at the wrong time. I don't believe that. I personally don't believe that everybody must be part of governance. I'm just saying this to make a point. I don't believe that I can't play Black Star. I don't believe.
So you shouldn't be in the Black Stars.
Exactly. And I cannot be a doctor. So if you put me in a theater to operate on somebody, you want me to kill people. You understand? So why is that when it comes to governance, everybody must be part? Some people must govern until a certain point. So this whole thing about Constitution Review Committee asking people to vote because it is neither here nor there. Now what you are going to do is that you are going to get people to vote, and whether the MC or the DC is performing or not, you have to wait for the next election. If the president is performing or not, you have to wait for that's a big problem. Yeah. When the MP is performing or not, you have to wait for 4 years. Everybody must sit down and wait for 4 years. If now you are going to vote for the MC and the DCs, if they are performing or not, everybody must sit down and wait for the next election. That is why I was not excited about them introducing proposing the recommendation, the 5-year term, because then Akufo-Addo will still be president by now. If you understand, I don't think that we must add. Looking at what we go through during elections, I don't think we must add MCs and DCs. That is, the framers of our constitution were very smart when they made that an entrenched clause in our constitution. You do not want to add this wahala to the already existing problems that we have in this country. Now, we are going to, I don't know if MCs and DC will also have delegates who are going to pick them. No, somebody must appoint them, somebody must fire them. The only problem we have is that you don't have people who are
these are chief executives.
Yeah. Somebody must appoint them, somebody must fire them.
So you completely disagree with
any
disagree. Suggestion that we should vote for?
The suggestion that we should extend the term, I'm going to campaign against it. And I'm very sure that extending MP's term to 5 years and a presidential term to 5 years will fall flat. I'm going to campaign against it. Ghanaians will not vote for that, and I'm begging the bloggers, please use this 3 News and TV3, please. I am going to vote against extending presidential and parliamentary terms. I'm going to vote against it. I'm going to campaign against it. Yes. I think that it should be even 2 years. After every 2 years, you have to come back to the people, and the people must vote for you based on your performance, based on your achievements. Not if you give me 2 years, 4 years, it is not enough for me to. I've been in Parliament for less than 2 years, and I don't remember. Sometimes I find it difficult to count the things that I've done in less than 2 years, and I don't have a budget.
It was one of the things I was going to come to.
I don't have a budget. Let me say this. I keep telling people, we in Gomoa have common sense in commercial quantities, and we can make something out of everything. You know, people say, I can make something out of nothing. In Gomoa, everything is something. So we don't say nothing. We can make something out of everything. I don't see my diplomatic passport as an ID card to withdraw Mumu. My diplomatic passport is not an ID. There are some people whose diplomatic passports are ID cards. They use it to withdraw Mumu.
Your colleague MPs?
Some people. Diplomatic passports are not given to
not
only
just to MPs.
Even to DCs. We are talking about DCs. We are talking about MCs. Yeah. They also have diplomatic passports. So some of them see it as an ID card. They use it to withdraw Mumu. As for me, this opportunity that I have, holding a diplomatic passport, that allows me to travel anywhere in Europe without going through the hassle of getting a visa is valuable. It's something of great importance, and it has to benefit my people. That one is currency. That one that I hold is currency, and the people must benefit from it. And that's why I came from Germany not long ago to bring huge investments into our special economic zone. So it is not about how much you are giving. It is about what you can do with what you have.
With what you have. But fantastic point you make as to using that diplomatic passport and leveraging on it too. But there's also the part about costing in terms of all of the things that you are doing. I know for you as an MP, there's a part of the common fund that comes to you for certain developmental projects. You've mentioned 2 clinics, 6 schools, and all of that. Where else are you getting the money to be doing all of these projects?
Okay.
Because I hear the MP's job it's a thankless job, and it's a very expensive job as well.
Yes. One of the worst things that you can do as an MP is to expect people to be grateful or to appreciate what you do. Don't ever expect anybody to appreciate. Don't expect it, and you'll never be disappointed. Listen, why is Gomoa poor? Why is Gomoa or Central Region considered a poor region? And why is Ghana considered a poor country? It doesn't make sense. Now, we have a lot of ways of generating income, revenue, funds, raising financing for projects. We have a lot of ways. And I'm going to say this to you today, my brother. Do you know why His Excellency the President passed the crypto bill? His Excellency President Mahama passed the crypto bill. Something big is going to happen. I have been in many conversations with the president, and that man is a very smart man. Look, you are asking how we are raising money to do all of this. Why can't we raise money in Ghana? For example, how many ounces of gold do you have as a country? Nobody knows. All that we know is that we have about 250,000 ounces of gold, which is about in the trillions of dollars. But where is the document to tell you how many ounces of gold you have? How many? What? You have lithium, you have oil, you have bauxite. How many gallons of oil, barrels of oil does Ghana have? Nobody knows. But you also have the Ghana Geological Survey Authority, an institution that can give you a document that scientifically tells you how many ounces of gold your country has. If the government of Ghana funds the Ghana Geological Survey Authority, if they are well equipped to conduct conduct prospecting, to be able to tell us how many ounces of gold we have in various areas, that document that you are holding is bankable.
What is currency? Natural resources.
That is currency. Once you can tell scientifically, how many ounces of gold you have in an area, that is currency in your hands. What is backing Bitcoin? Nothing. Bitcoin is backed by speculation and belief. There is no real world asset backing Bitcoin. But why is Bitcoin that valuable? If Bitcoin that is backed by nothing is valuable, why is the Ghana cedi not strong? You have a currency, you have a digital currency that is backed by speculation and belief, which is valuable. However, you have a currency which can be backed by gold, by a document. Even if you are not backing your cedi with that document you have, that tells you the ounces of gold you have, you can create a digital currency. We are in the era of stable coins. If Ghana is able to fund the Ghana Geological Survey Authority to work on identifying how many, quantity of minerals we have and the value of all of these and produce a document, Ghana can create a stable coin, and everybody in this world will buy our coin. We don't need the IMF, we don't need World Bank, we don't need anybody. If Elon Musk comes to Ghana today and buys a concession of gold, immediately it is transferred into his name. His net worth will appreciate instantly. Before taking the gold, his net worth will appreciate. Is that true or false? So if somebody can buy a concession and then before he even goes down there to take the gold, his net worth appreciate, why do you have the gold but you are poor? That's why I keep telling people we have common sense in commercial quantities. We know how to make money. Human beings, our brains are not pay-per-use. Our brains are used, we can use it for free, and we have to be able to generate. I sit on the Yenku forest. Yenku forest is a huge forest. It is a virgin forest that had been sitting there. That was that had been protected since 1931 or so. Why can't I raise money? And I have to go out there and tell everybody that we can build an eco park here, we can build an artificial waterfall here, we can build cable cars and canopy walks and glass walks. We can increase the animal population. I just have to go out there. I have to prepare a document and show it to people. Kwame Nkrumah didn't have WhatsApp, but he was able to send a message to the entire continent. I have WhatsApp. I have social media, I have internet, I have Canva. I can produce documents in seconds. I can produce anything that I want. The kind of tools that are available to us on our mobile phones, the one that we use to watch porno. Mobile phones, we just use it to go and watch porno and to go and fight on TikTok. I have friends in China who make over 16 million, 20 million on TikTok daily. Tony Dems, that my friends, they are coming to Ghana in the next 2 weeks. They make about 20 million. They have a studio like this. You come and the influencers are there and their products and they are selling. They are making money. They sell about 60. I sit down, I watch the screen and they are making money. And these young ladies, these young guys make about 20% of their earnings. So when people ask me, how are you making money? I don't need money from anybody. If I sit on thousands of acres of land, that is lying by the Lagos Abidjan highway, a corridor that sees over 47 million passengers every day. That is currency. That is money. I have to explain to people that this is money. That's why when I hear people say, oh, the white man came and took our gold, I say, do you know the value of it? You don't know the value of the gold. In Dubai, they import black soil to plant flowers. So if you have black soil, that's a natural resource. Fertile soil is a natural resource. So you cannot be sitting on fertile soil and say, where are you getting the money from? What you are sitting on, if somebody has to import it into their country before they can grow plants and you have it for free, that is a natural resource. And so raising money to build anything in Gomoa is the least of all our problems.
Right.
Our problems is how to find the right people to work with.
By this narrative, it presupposes that the rest of your colleagues who are not engaged in endeavors like this in Parliament could risk losing their seats, because if by the 4 years you've put up an industrial park and all of that, that becomes the example for everybody to look at and suggest that, look, because some people have criticized you that, look, you've gone to Parliament, you don't even talk, you don't say anything over there, and yet you call yourself an MP. I mean, how would you respond to that? And if this becomes the yardstick now for members of Parliament?
They are misinformed people, and I don't blame them. I feel sad for them. You see, and sometimes what makes me angry is when people come and say, oh, he doesn't speak in Parliament because he can't speak English. The English that they speak in Parliament, when I show it to my kids, they say, what are they saying? My kids, they live in London. The brofo you are speaking in Parliament, they don't understand. If you think you are speaking English, they don't understand what you say. That's English that they speak in the Parliament. My children don't understand it. You understand what I'm saying? So what I'm trying to tell you is that we have made it look like just going to the floor of Parliament and screaming makes you the best MP. I'm not going to Parliament to scream, and I'm telling you this today. I had a plan before I entered Parliament. I had a plan, and I knew for a fact that, look, when I enter Parliament, it will give me the opportunity to change a lot of things in Gomoa, not because I want to be the most. If you are known for the number of arguments that you won on the floor, but not the impact that you made in people's life, you're a waste of taxpayers' money. I want to be popular for the impact that I made. I want to be considered the next Kwame Nkrumah. And you come back and you come here and tell me, oh, A+, he goes to Parliament and he doesn't speak because he can't speak good English. I speak better English than Lionel Messi. I speak better English than Cristiano Ronaldo. But they are better than me in terms of achievements. And so you can go to Parliament and speak all the English for the Queen to ask you pardon. That is your problem. As for me, there's one thing that I know. And I will never buy a trumpet and hand it over to anybody to blow because we are in the era of COVID. If you play my guitar, that is okay because you play it with your fingers. But for you to blow my trumpet, you give me COVID. I will not allow you to blow my trumpet. I blow it myself. I don't share. I know that I'm a very smart guy. So I don't care about who is speaking and who is not speaking on them. I don't want to know. There's one thing that I know about myself. I'm a very smart guy. And when I see people who don't fear me, I wonder, why don't you fear me? I came to Accra. As a young boy, 19 years, I left my father, my mother, just jumped in a trotro, came to Accra. When I got here, my lorry fare from the village to Accra, that was the last money. When I paid, I didn't have any money. I've been here till today, giving birth to my kids schooling abroad. I have a very beautiful life. I've become a member of Parliament. You are not scared of this guy. I'm still here. And when I wake up, the next thing I think about is how to become president of Ghana. You're not afraid of me. You want me to go and be standing in Parliament and speaking English?
That's the ambition. You want to be president of the Republic.
Of course, it will happen. It is not like I'm not. You know, when you meet people, say, "Do you want to be president?" Oh, wait, when the time? Me, I know I will be president of Ghana one day. It will happen. So when we finish this show, please take a photo with me so you can show that some time ago you interviewed the president before he won. I'm a very confident guy. And I'm not going to be president because I was fighting on the floor of Parliament. Because the people of Ghana will see the things that I have done. And yes, they will see my achievement. The world is changing. The people are no more interested in who is talking and screaming on the floor. They are interested in the impact that we are making in people's lives. And we are going to change a lot of things. If you ask me when, I don't know. But I know for a fact that people will wake up one day, look at our achievements and say that we want to vote for this guy.
Will it be on the ticket of a political party?
I will never be a member of any political party.
Because you're caucusing with the majority now.
I will never. Yes, caucusing is different from being a member of a political party. I will never be a member of any political party. The biggest problem we have in this country is the fear of losing elections, the leadership of parties. I believe that looking at what John Mahama is doing today, or what President Akufo-Addo did, or what Nana-Addo did, if they were not members of these two parties, they would have done more, because the parties put pressure on the governments. You see somebody who is building in a waterway and is fighting with the how do you call it, municipal or
chief executive,
because I bought cars and I gave it to the party. I gave this to the party. I don't want to be a member of a party. And as for me, there is one thing. When I see everybody going this direction, I turn around and run.
You think there's a problem with the politics and the party system that we have in this country?
That is the biggest problem that we have in this country. I am running at a certain speed because I'm not scared of what I have to say. I'm not scared of what I have to do. So long as it is the right thing to do, I do it without the fear of being called to any party headquarters to go and to go and answer questions to anybody. When I said on your show, I talk about Fifi Kwete. He's not my general secretary. He's the general secretary of NDC. I have a lot of respect for him. I think that he has achieved a lot, and he's older than me. And in our culture, you have to give a certain level of respect to older people. I have a lot of respect for Asare Nketia, but I can tell him that I do not support him. I can tell him that he's right or he's wrong, and I don't care about how he feels about it. You understand? And I've stated clearly that he should come and tell us if he wants to be president. He should come and tell us why he wants to be president, because he was in Ghana in politics in this country before they started building Dubai. And Dubai has been built. They've built all this. He was part of politics in this country. Before they started building Dubai, there's none of my colleagues in the majority who can say this on your show. They will call them to party headquarters. They cannot. They are scared. I'm excited to be here. I'm representing the people of Ghana. I'm not serving anybody's interest. You understand what I'm saying? Yes. So if you want to be president of Ghana, no problem. We can support you to be president of Ghana. But what what have you done for this country? We want to know. Not just being sarcastic like me. Hey, he can insult you nicely, but he won't say that. He won't use abuakwasia, but he has a nice way. So therefore, you can become president. No, anybody can become president. It is possible that maybe I will support him to become president. But I want to know. You were in politics before they started building Dubai. What is your achievement? What have you done for this country?
Your combative nature and public commentary sometimes draws a lot of criticism to you. Some wonder if that hurts your general overall ambition in the long run as to your persona, because I think in recent, after the June 29 floods, you were making some public commentary and all of that. There was a bit of a backlash and all of that. Does that come back to hurt you in a particular way, or are you minded to sometimes tone down a bit in terms of what you say? Obviously, you stated you are not a member of a political party or anything, and so you don't have to be called and questioned. But as to the general populace and the people you want to lead one day, sometimes they find some of the things you say offensive.
Yes, some.
3FM.
It's normal. Some. There's some people who don't like Jesus Christ. Some. There's some people who don't like Prophet Muhammad. Some. There's some people who don't like me. I don't meet them. I hardly meet those who don't like me, because anybody who meets me wants to take a photo with me. So sometimes I wonder, is it that those who don't like me don't have lorry fare to come to town because I don't meet them? Anybody who meets me wants to take a photo with me. So yeah, I agree that some people may disagree with me, but go on social media and read the comments. Read the comments from any platform, anything that I've said. You get about 20% of people who disagree with me, and about 80%. The Constitution says that if I'm looking for votes and I want to become president of Ghana, it should be 50+1. The Constitution knows that many people won't like you, but 50+1 is enough. I'm not looking for everybody. I want some people to like me. And of course, I have read the Art of War. I've read the 33 Strategies of War by Robert Greene. I've read the 48 Laws of Power. And so I know how to court attention. I am an experienced attention seeker. I need your attention. I need to stay relevant. So if you think that I don't like what I'm doing, I want you to know that I have to plan it. I have to live in your life. And I'm excited when you don't ignore me and you are fueling it. I will continue being like this. My people like it. A lot of people love me for who I am. I will live under your skin, whether it makes you happy or not. It's not. The only thing that will never happen is that police will arrest me for committing a crime. But I am an experienced attention seeker, and I know that I need your attention to sell an idea to you. When you may not like what I said, but you come and watch it and comment, and one day you will sit down and think about it and say, you see, these are the things that A+ has been talking about. It may take 2 years, 3 years, but you will still listen. And lastly, if you watch my last encounter with somebody like Ola Michael on UTV, people say, oh, he insulted Ola. That was one of the greatest things that I have done this year. And I'm so excited. If I do something that is wrong, I come out and say, oh, this was wrong. But insulting Ola was one of the greatest achievements this year, and I would love to do it again, because I had to defend the arts. I had to defend the creative arts industry. If somebody is talking about the MP and the person says that you are only focusing on entertainment, you are downplaying the importance of entertainment, especially when I've told you what entertainment contribute to Dubai, to China, to Las Vegas. So if you sweep all of that under the carpet and come and talk about, and I'll insult you.
Let's talk about anti-corruption as we wrap up. You petitioned the Speaker over the Public Accounts Committee chair. Where has that gone, and why even engage in an act like that? It's a colleague member of Parliament, a former finance minister, and all of that.
You guys are living in a country where I don't know why you are. I don't know why you are not confused. You yourself, a host. I don't know. Mawena, you. I don't know why you are not confused. Like
confused as to what?
Somebody is the deputy finance minister. Then 1 month after she leaves as the deputy finance minister, who was in charge, who was in charge of everything that we are talking about, sits in Parliament as the chair, to come and ask people why they did this, what they did, to ask people who were appointed just a month ago, you who did it, come and become the chairman, and go and ask the people who were just appointed why this happened when I was the. You guys are crazy.
do you at any point in time regret the role you played in bringing Akufo-Addo into power?
Of course, yes, I do. Akufo-Addo is the worst president that we have had in this country. He's a good man. He's a good man. As a person, he's a good man. I think that I should visit him one of these days. I've not seen him in many years. I only see him on TV and social media. So I'll visit him one of these days. But the fact is that he's the worst president that Ghana has had in the Fourth Republic. And I have on many occasions apologized for being part of those who brought him to power. But of course, God created the garden and he didn't know that is what it will be. And so me supporting Akufo-Addo shouldn't be a big deal. I think people will forgive me.
Lastly, what would you want to be remembered for, particularly the good people of Gomoa? And Kay says Gomoa himself. That's why he's been seated close to you and listening in greatly. There are high expectations of you. You started in achieving a number of those things, but what do you want them to remember you for? I know you have plans of reaching the highest office in the country as well.
I want them to remember me as a very good guy. That's all I want people. I want them to remember me that of being a very good guy. I'm one of the best friends you can have. I will be there for you. Yeah, I'm one of the best friends. Look, I've been with Dada Hafko. When I had my first child 21 years ago, I went with Dada Hafko to the hospital to bring them home, and we have still been friends. I just want to be a good guy, and a good guy is not acting good. It's not pretending to be good.
3FM.
It's not the kind of settings good. It's not speaking like a good guy, but actually being a good guy. Thinking about the people who live in my constituency and Ghana today, and making plans for posterity, the generations unborn. That is what I want to be remembered for. I want to be remembered. I want the next generation to come and look at something that I've done and say, some years ago, some sensible people walked this land.
A+, thank you very much for joining us.
You're welcome.
Okay, any quick things you want to say to him?
Yeah, I think he said it all. Now I will ask you, as your MP like this, see, we are raising the standards and Gomoa is rising, and you know, it's a subset of the central region. So if Gomoa rises, of course, the central region can only become better, and in extension, Ghana can also be better.
Fantastic.
Mauna, before I go, let me just say this. We are building the biggest eco park in Africa, in Gomoa. Next week, Wednesday, we will be in Gomoa with the Ghana Tourism Authority, with the Forestry Commission has released the entire Yenku Forest to the Gomoa Eco Park Company Limited. This is going to be one of the first eco parks that comes from the forest and joins the ocean, so that you can take a cable car from the forest and ride 21 kilometers and see the entire ocean. We are going to increase the animal population. We are going to build homes in the forest, and we are going to invite everybody to the lunch to come and see what we are going to build.
Including Mawena himself.
In fact, we are going to build this. Yes, we are going to build this in less than 3 years, because we are democratizing wealth in Gomoa. If you have money and you want to build a small home and give it out to tourists to live in, when they come there, we will give you free land to come and build it yourself. So we are not looking at going to look for funding to come and build a huge. No, everybody who wants to be part of this, you can invest in this eco park. You can own a piece of this. So we are selling square meters. You understand? We are giving square meters away. away for free. And then we have a dashboard where when you have a building in the Eco Park and people live in, you can see on your phone. And that's why I'm telling you that we have common sense. We are very smart. And so we are inviting the entire Ghana. We will put the data out, and everybody should come and see what is happening in Gomoa. Absolutely.
And thank you very much for joining us in studio as well. I'm just going to read this one message that came through from Rahim. It says, A+, the awakening of mind's man. I just like him. Rahim sends that particular message in relation to our conversations that we've been having this morning. I appreciate you for as well coming by the studio this morning.
Thank you.
Politician, care of Abai PO Box Parliamentary House.